Next question is from Trisha, who says, what do you think about dog breed discrimination? Are certain breeds such as pit bulls more aggressive than others? Okay, I have strong feelings about this, and this is something I happen to know quite a bit about. I am completely against breed-specific legislation, number one, which says that certain breeds of dog are banned, particularly because it's very difficult to exactly identify many breeds of dog. And the Pitbull Paradox, as I call it, is a great example of this. And there's this vicious cycle. It's currently pit bulls. Pit bulls are currently like the dangerous dog. But it used to be at one point German Shepherds, at one point it was Rottweilers, at one point it was Dobermans. There's different dogs that over time have been the dangerous dog. And really what it comes down to is what dog is in style, typically for relatively young men to have as a sort of badge of the strong dog that will protect me type of thing, or the aggressive dog. And with pit bulls, it's particularly problematic because, first of all, you have, okay, people say, hey, look, dog bites, overwhelmingly pit bulls. And then you say, let's examine the data. Number one, pit bull is a type of dog. There's a few specific breeds like American Pit Bull Terrier, et cetera, that are typically what people talk about when they say pit bull. But most mixes or mutts that you get at a shelter that at all resemble an American Pit Bull Terrier will be reported as pit bulls as dog bites. This includes the Argentine Dogo. This includes some different Mastiffs. This includes the American Bulldog, et cetera. So number one, typically, you're talking about 15 to 20 different breeds of dogs when you say, look at the number of bites from, quote, pit bulls. So that's deceptive to begin with. But further, a lot of those bite lists are made from media reports. In other words, there's no central database of dog bites. So a lot of the lists are based on reports of dog bites, and there is self-selection bias. What's more likely to be a news story? That a pit bull bit someone, or that a Cocker Spaniel bit someone? So I completely reject the concept, first of all, Pat, that pit bulls are inherently more dangerous. What is true is that when you look at the particulars of the pit bulls that are biting, you have, number one, it's overwhelmingly unneutered, obviously male dogs, which is known to make all breeds more aggressive. You have very often dogs that are kept chained outside for long periods of time that are engaged in these bites. And number three, you have dogs that are owned by young men who, there's many young men who are great dog owners, but statistically, you're also looking at a group that may be more likely to raise the dog in a slightly different way. So are pit bulls inherently more aggressive? Well, pit bulls are not really bred to be aggressive against humans. If they are, that line is not supposed to be bred any further. There's no doubt that because of the pit bull fighting rings that exist, there are individual pit bulls who have probably been selectively bred for aggressiveness, but really it should be aggressiveness against other dogs. I understand dogs are traumatized. That could come out against people, but by and large, it is all a sham. And I'm completely against breed-specific legislation. We really just need to turn around our perception of what's going on and realize that it's the people that are the problem here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly kind of undecided on this. I don't agree with breed-specific legislation, but just in terms of how dangerous pit bulls are, because you can calculate the numbers and see what dogs are more likely to bite another person or another dog. But I think it's also the severity of how bad those bites are. And because pit bulls were bred to not only bite, but to latch on through, bull baiting, when they would have this sport in England and they would actually like try to attack a bull and prevent them from moving any further. And so they were trained to hold on. And I think it becomes a bit of nature versus nurture, because even though they were bred to do that and participate in that sport, I think hundreds of years later, you can see that they are much more better in dealing with humans.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you're saying, it's partially true, but also plays into a lot of the pit bull myths, because there are many dog breeds that have much stronger bite strength than
Rottweilers,
pit bulls.
German Shepherds, I think are the top
Yeah. So if it's a bite strength argument alone, that's been pretty widely debunked. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong if you actually look at the data and the information that we have about this.
And I'm just playing devil's advocate. I don't
totally
know either
understand.
way.
Yeah, no, those would all be good arguments if the data completely backed it up. But usually when you look in at like the second layer of it, you find out that there's a grain of truth, but it's been distorted and sort of blown out of proportion.